The first day of a new round of trilateral talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the United States took place in Abu Dhabi. As the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, Rustem Umerov, recalled after the trilateral meeting, the negotiation process continued in a working format, in groups.
The work was constructive and productive, centered on concrete steps and effective practical solutions.
Soon after, the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, announced the first result of negotiations with Russia in his evening address. According to him, the release of military prisoners is expected in the near future.
Overall, our Ukrainian position is very clear. The war needs to be brought to a real end. It is Russia that must be ready for this. And partners must also be prepared to back this up with real security guarantees.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio commented on the course of the negotiations in Abu Dhabi. Rubio stated that there is both good news and bad news regarding the negotiations. The good news is that the list of unresolved issues has significantly decreased.
The unfortunate reality is that the issues that still persist are the most challenging obstacles to overcome. Meanwhile, the war continues.
At the same time, the military political leadership of Russia continues to insist on ultimatum demands. This is reported by analysts from the Institute for the Study of War. It is noted that the Kremlin continues to study the demands in order to create informational conditions for rejecting any peace agreement that Russia does not like. In particular, the spokesperson for the Foreign Ministry of the aggressor country, Maria Zakharova, once again stated that the Kremlin is categorically against the deployment of Western troops in Ukraine. According to Ukrainska Pravda, citing military personnel of various ranks, the end or suspension of the war will not happen this year or in 2027. The military also do not believe in the effectiveness of negotiations, nor do they believe that Russia will limit itself to only seizing the Donetsk region. Meanwhile, on February 5th, the second day of Ukraine-US negotiations began in Abu Dhabi.
Friends, according to media reports, Russia has put forward new conditions at the recent negotiations in Abu Dhabi. But I am inclined to believe this unofficial condition. Why? Because, citing an unnamed Western official, it was published by Russian media. And these are disciplined party soldiers, disciplined propagandists who do nothing without orders from above. No, there won't be any references to unnamed Western officials. We received an order, without naming the source, to publish this kind of topic. Whether they are testing the waters or actually putting forward such conditions. All parties involved in the negotiations, that is, both Ukraine and the US, are officially required not just to give up Donetsk region to Russia, but to officially recognize Donbas as Russian. Those are their conditions. Well, it's believed they want, so that it's not just about amending their constitution and sometimes equipping it, but so that Putin can report and go down in history as having been right. And so both Ukrainians and Americans would recognize Putin's greatness and agree to everything. I don't know what the hell is with Donbas, what they're doing with Donbas. Yesterday I posted videos and photos, and actually today as well, videos and photos of how they're destroying Donbas and Kiev. On my Telegram I posted many photos from Druzhkivka, where bombs and cluster munitions hit, people killed, lots of wounded, to see in detail how Russia is destroying Donbas, vividly, graphically, and with swearing. Visit Sazonov official on Telegram or Kyrylo Sazonov on Facebook. Links are in the description, but that's not the main point. Yes, they are destroying Donbas, wiping it out. Why do they need to turn it into rubble? Land mixed with debris. Just look. In the photos and videos, again I posted about Avdiivka, Torres, Krasnohorivka. Just look at what happens to the cities of Donbas when the liberator Russia arrives. There's not a single spot left untouched. Why do they need this? They have plenty of their own territory, or maybe they're just trying to shift eastward away from China. In general, the conditions are probably absurd, and the negotiations are even more complicated. The Americans, of course, don't care, but we do. So it's unlikely that we'll agree to these terms. For everyone, the initial steps definitely won't happen anytime soon. And it really seems that this is exactly why Russia is stalling for time. But let them stall. Last night I posted photos and videos of how it's not easy to live in Belgorod now because our missiles can reach there. But soon they'll be able to reach even farther, much farther. And Russian territory at a certain point will be plunged into darkness and cold, just as they wanted, just as they deserve. Is this insistence on recognizing Donbas as Russian really worth it? I don't think so. But Putin has his own cockroaches in his head. The old man doesn't care about anything anymore. Friends, subscribe to my Telegram and Facebook. I manage to post updates there more quickly. Subscribe to this channel as well. I'll be glad to see you here. Ukraine will prevail.